trying to understand that happiness and the wisdom go together. I have an appointment with the doctor at 10:30, so I said it takes 5 minutes to reach there. So always keep smiling, but what prevents me? My mind, my experiences. My mind and my all experiences. Go further. The beauty of the Eastern wisdom, go on asking question why. Science asks the question what. What is the process? What is the mechanism? What are the steps? Here is a manual, and if there is a troubleshooting, and you have to. But we ask why. So there is a big difference between the what and the why. The what pertains to the objective reality, and why takes us to the subjective. So why? Because the mind and its experiences dictates us. Why? So then there are two questions. Do all experiences of the mind are true? Answer is no. So how to redefine it? So you experience, but what you experience does not exist. That is false. I experience mirage water, false. Blueness of the sky, false. Snake in the rope, false. My wife is soulmate, false. My wife is crazy, false. She is only a woman. You know how you reset the mind. That is very important. That goes back to what my master says, keep smiling. Why you label anyone? Okay, now come to the question, of what? What it demands, what it requires to maintain that awareness. Ask yourself. That is what we are learning. The comprehensive knowledge and understanding you have. Mind will not go back to its past experiences. What is the meaning of comprehensive knowledge in your mind? She is a girl, then she became the woman, she has this attitude, and now she is my honey, now she is my wife. Because of her attitude, she behaves like this. Oh, because of the past impression, she behaves like this. There is nothing to be crazy. So we have already explained it is a comprehensive understanding, but question is whether we remember or not in a real life situation. And to remember in a real life, no, what do you mean? Real life situation? I forget. Yes, many times I forget. So, what is this forgetfulness? Ask yourself. We have to go very deep. What is this forgetfulness? Mind remembers that she is crazy, but mind forgets to live in awareness. I remember something that I don't say, that I still remember that you are crazy. I forget you are not crazy. Simple. It's a lack of understanding, it's a lack of thinking. Why lack of thinking? Because of the impurities of the mind. What are those impurities of the mind? My experiences, which is not real, I did not analyze in my life, I did not reflect through the intellect, so I don't have the comprehensive knowledge, and hence she is crazy. But at the same time, when you drop the lack of thinking, that is what the satsang is. Now I'm coming to the satsang. I wanted to deal. What is satsang? Company of the real. So the teacher every time through many means and different ways helps you to remind, come on, where you are. Just before our session, she was reflecting on her relationship with the mom, and she told me that her mom always says nothing sounds good. I said, you are a seeker. Why didn't you ask her, including me? So she smiled, but she forgot that. So why forgetfulness? Because the mind overpowered about the behavior and attitude of my mom. Look at it. That is why the satsang is required. That is why this talk is until we reach to that state. So when we remember, we find our flow. In a modern language, we find our flow. When we find our flow, no one can prevent my smile and joy inside, bypassing all the past experiences, because how long you are going to analyze all your experiences? You analyze your experiences there and then, in that situation. What happens? You integrate happiness and wisdom. But why you are integrating? For a purposeful life. What is the purpose of the life? Is to find the real self, to get awakened, to reach to the highest level of the self-knowledge. You can also say that you can cultivate happiness, wisdom for lasting happiness. Understand? I have to put everything into order. I forget. Mind, why I forget? What do you mean by forgetting? I forget that no one is crazy in this world. Craziness is my interpretation, the interpretation of my mind based on my perception and my experiences. My experiences are false because before she is crazy, she is a girl. You want to go deeper? Go deeper. So, girl means the name and the form and the gender. How can the five elements be crazy? Because body is composed of five elements. Go ahead. That is the meaning, that is the advanced program. I'm just talking about this today. You can understand. Five elements. So five elements are inert. Inert does not know about itself. Inert does not know about others. And I have branded the inert and the matter the crazy. It is my perception. I feel you are alive at the body level, hence you are crazy. My experience is wrong. No one is crazy, no one is good. So I'm settled. My mind is settled and I'm relaxed. My master says, keep smiling. It is so I smile because my mind did the blunder, telling you are crazy. I have a wonderful friend, and she is constantly nagging her husband. Whenever I go out of the five times, four times, she gives me a good lecture that how her husband is wrong. in what way she is wrong. And on the top of it, she has a big ego that she has understood how he is wrong. On the top of it, there is another ego. She declares that she understands what she is saying. And on the top of it, she continues suffering. Recently, they divorced. I did not say anything. I did not say anything to him, but he is like this. And I said, keep on saying. When, there are many layers of the ego, you are not ready to listen to me. But you are my teacher. What the heck, why should I be your teacher? If you continue your craziness. But internally, externally, I don't say anything. Yes, I'm good. Hugging, good. Very happy. Yes, now. You see the many layers of the ignorance. Many layers of the many layers of the ignorance and whether you say forgetfulness or a delusion or attachment or ego, whatever you want to say, it blocks happiness and the wisdom. Happiness and wisdom are mutually dependent and independent also. So my mind is obsessed with fleeting pleasures, temporary pleasures, with reference to an object. It has created a perception and the experiences it has accumulated in my mind. I never respond in the present, either I respond in the past or I respond to people in the future. That response is a reaction based on my experiences. I don't question those experiences. Questioning those experiences is the motive of satsang, is the motive of this satsang. I have a problem, and I told you many a times. A couple went to my master. So my master invited the husband first. What's the problem? She doesn't love me. And then after she doesn't love me, I have to prove it. So first I have a false background, and on that false ground I create a story. Then my master called the wife. He doesn't love me. She created another story. You both are beggars. I cannot solve your problem. Get lost. My master has been very, very straight and blunt. You both are crazy. Get lost. Don't come to me. It is my experience that you don't love me. And it is her experience that I don't love him. You cannot solve the problem. Why? It is founded on the experiences which is not real. You cannot find the water in the mirage. Try hard. So we have to. So it means I have to check that emotional connection with reference to my experiences. So I don't create any perception, any idea about any person. Why should I create? All are human beings. Finished. But at the social level, at the personal level, at the professional level, I should maintain my awareness and alertness that I should not invite so called people who are criminals at the same time. That is at the social level, professional level. Even that criminal is a person only. So So, what happens, when the teacher of the Eastern wisdom says this, we have a lot of confusion. We have to understand that confusion. Everyone is the real self, every behind that being human frame, there is an entity which is known as the real self. It is Satchitanand, absolute existence, consciousness, bliss. There is no difference. But there is a difference at the physical level. There is a difference in the name and the shop, name and the form. Tiger is different from this. White is different because of the name and the form and because of the mind. So the student went to the home, but before reaching home in the forest, he he found a priest. He said, "Don't go that way. Change the route. Tiger is there." No, no, everyone is real self. Everyone is real self. So he did not agree to that priest, and he went through that way. He met the tiger. Tiger hurt him. Anyhow, he reached home. He was hurt. The next day, he went to the teacher, and he said, "Look, this is the impact of your teaching." This is what happens when the mind is not transformed. The intellect has an understanding, but I don't have a realization of that knowledge. So the master said, "You told me the entire story. You said the tiger is real self. The priest is also the real self. Why don't you listen to him?" Mind, this is what happens to the mind. This is what happens to the mind. Doctor says, "Don't eat this. Don't drink this." And you are with your friend in the bar. "Oh, let me have it." Unnecessary. Understand this. This is how the satsang changes the mindset. It forces you, it compels your mind to think in a different way. Think in line with the Eastern wisdom in the beginning. You should just follow. That is why we say the faith. Once you are a seeker, then have a faith in the teacher. Whatever he says, you just follow it blind. Blindly means what? You start inquiring, you start understanding. Look at the point of the wisdom. The master says, "You crazy guy, before the tiger hurt you, you met the priest. And priest told you, don't follow this path." So it is your biased opinion in the mind. Now examine. Biased opinion based on my experience. Why should I believe the human being? Why shouldn't I treat the tiger as the real self? So that comprehensive, in the beginning I told you, comprehensive knowledge and understanding is required. That is why we are doing this satsang. That is why we are doing the journey. Your experience is authenticated by the real self behind. You are done with it. Your experience is proven wrong by the false. Drop it. You are crazy. My honey, you were my honey, but now you behave always like a crazy person. That's why I don't talk to you, really. So you have two perceptions. First, he or she was soulmate, now he or she is crazy. So you cannot have two perceptions about the same person. That is why it is wrong. So your experience is wrong. Yes, there may be some behavior problem, an attitude problem. It comes from the mind. I have to acclimatize myself according to that, and that let us live. Same example. She told me, "Hey, my mom says nothing sounds good." I said, you must ask her, including me, and those who have many layers of the ego. If mom has many layers of ego, I can bet you she will say yes, including you. And then you are upset. You don't think how many times my mom told me that you are a wonderful son, you take care of me, I love you. I forget that. That forgetfulness is ignorance because I don't follow the satsang. In the satsang, satsang means I listen and learn the principle and then I contemplate and reflect. Or you can simply use the word I investigate. This is what happens in our life.
But if you do the first step and contemplate about what is the purpose of life, all this issue became not important.
Yeah. Then you say your own mind that you are crazy. What's the purpose of saying this? There's no purpose, it drops. But it has to be done regularly in a real life situation. Why? It is karma yoga.
Mhm.
It is karma yoga. So it is simply a karma yoga. It's not your personal life, professional life, social life, family life. It's all karma yoga. Finished. And that helps you to keep smiling all the time. Your honey says you are crazy. Oh, thank you very much. I'm more crazy than you think. She has a wrong impression, so let her wrong impression continue. But she's told you that you are crazy to so that you should react. That is a social norm. You don't react. You're done with it. You don't create any impression. But even if the mind continues to press you, you see that is this girl has a right to give me a certification of craziness? No. You go on repeating it. Does she has a right to give me a certificate? No. But the mind says yes because she is my wife. My wife should always appreciate me. So that is another layer of ignorance. I'm asking you, why, satsang? Why? You reach to the ultimate cause and the problem is gone. So you have a comprehensive knowledge. Every point, every grooves, every groove is filled up with the wisdom and you are free. I had a conversation with she always used to do lot of makeup long back when I was 25. We both were working in the same institution and she always looked younger. And first time after maybe after 15 years we had a video conferencing and a chat. She said, "You look so crazy. Why don't you color your hairs?" "Oh, your wife doesn't do it." "Oh, no, I said she does it." I said, "If she does it, why should I do it?" I asked her that, "Do you really want to talk to this beard guy or you want to stop talking?" "No, no, that's not a problem." I said, "Then forget about my beard." People will influence, dictate you, the social, from the society, from the family, from the near and the dear ones. I have to get rid of it. I have to have a very Uh, I have to have a heart of the steel for them. Those who impose ignorance, and that will happen continuously throughout the world. So, that is another principle we say. You live in the world, but the world doesn't live in you. Contemplation, reflection. Or I can use the word investigation. Investigate. Investigate with reference to the why, in aligned with the principles of Eastern wisdom. Happiness and the wisdom go together. That is one principle. I told you the two wings of the bird. Happiness vitalizes the wisdom. When I'm in stress, it puts me further down because that stress finds 10 different reasons to remain stressed.
Yeah, of course.
I have been telling you, Eastern wisdom is an instrument of knowledge. Instrument of knowledge. Instrument of knowledge. What is your address? Here, 7304, etc., etc. Huh? Fleming Street, and New Jersey. Now you have got the address, you follow it. When you follow until you reach to that address, you leave other homes. That is the investigation. You are asking the question, you stop dropping. She told me, Gracie, now I continue to live with that I emotionally charge that word craziness, and then I accumulate the reaction, and next time I meet her, I'm ready to react. That is, so it means I don't follow this. So what happens? The happiness vitalizes the wisdom. Approaching a challenging work, for example, you are approaching a challenging work with optimism, with a creativity leading to creative solution. That is one option because happiness vitalizes the wisdom. I recognize that I have a problem. Then what? Let me start with the joy and happiness, calmness. And wisdom grounds happiness. Two things. Happiness vitalizes the wisdom. So when you are happy, your mind moves towards the creativity, optimism, clarity, and the wisdom grounds your happiness. What is this wisdom? The comprehensive understanding, investigation. That is what we say self discovery. That is why we have to inquire, self inquiry, who am I? Wisdom grounds your happiness. Maintaining near inner peace and a perspective during any setback in the world outside. It's a happening from the world. I have my own interpretation, so I get rid of that interpretation all the time because the wisdom has grounded the happiness. How it comes? Again, I said comprehensive understanding. Lack of thinking must go. If the lack of thinking and someone says you are crazy, you will end up fighting. But if you start investigating, you don't worry about it.
Am I understand rightly that we are doing exercise, for example, mala, chanting with mala, and sometimes our attention is switching. So it is means that like in regular life, forgottenness.
You're right. Perfectly. Perfectly. You are right.
But in mala we have object, mantra. And in regular life, it should be object like real self or like what I am doing.
Yes, object may be my wife, object may be money, object may be food, object may. So any event, situation, person, and object can cause you the forgetfulness because the mind brings the past impression, which is not true. Problem is that is not true. You analyze every thought during the mala, and if you investigate why this thought has come, it has no relevance at all. So when I have those thoughts which is not relevant, it comes from my experiences which is not real, which I have been keeping all the time in my head. That is causing the forgetfulness. How to get rid of it? What is the cause of it? Lack of thinking. So if I start thinking, yes, when you start thinking, it means it's a conscious approach. Your mind, now your mind has to be conscious to think, to create any thought. Even to say this craziness is not good. And the moment you said, you started the journey. So even during the mala, now I'm coming to a solution. Even during the mala, okay, I will not change. I will not repeat the mantra. So which thought? Mind? Why you have this thought? Ask yourself. So I had experienced in the past. Okay, I had that experience in the past. So now check whether that experience has a firm ground of the real self or the ground of the false. Or is a ground of the false side. And then you restart the mala. What will happen? Speedy progress. Otherwise, the same thought continues to repeat every time you meditate. Knowledge, comprehensive understanding. You try this and then you will see, oh, that thought now never repeated. You'll be surprised because you treated that subconscious impulsive thought coming from the memory consciously. You have recognized that now there is no element, it depends on the false ground. I have recognized it.
Usually I switch back to the mantra, so
No, no.
it's necessary to investigate it.
Investigate. Investigate therein. If someone parks a car in front of your home, you have to investigate why you have come, who you are. To check you have a real ground to park the car here or not. That is what happens in US. If someone parks a car, it is, oh, it's parked one day, second day, third day. No. And why you have parked when you have a parking space? We call the police. Let the police investigate. Police here is our intellect. Contemplation and reflection has to be done. If it is not done, because I want to move to the ultimate cause leads to authenticity, and authenticity leads to self-fulfillment. I used lot of words. Comprehensive knowledge from the satsang. Satsang helps me to drop lack of thinking. It starts the conscious thinking. Conscious thinking is just an investigation, and that investigation, aligned with the principles of Eastern wisdom, leads me to the ultimate cause. Ultimate cause gives me an understanding of authenticity, and the moment your mind touches that authenticity, you have a self-fulfillment. You feel, oh, I'm relaxed totally. Now the word crazy does not influence me. Thank you. You still have a smile on your face. Thank you very much. You did the right thing. You reminded me. And internally, intellect says that, do you see the power of endurance? You are still smiling. You are still happy. So, investigation, satsang, journey of cultivating that happiness is like climbing a mountain. And it is an internal journey. You are not, if someone says you crazy, you don't say to him or her, please sit down, I will tell you whether I'm not or not, let me practice meditation. No, internally you have started the investigation because you already have a comprehensive understanding. Point 2, point 3, point 4, you set the grooves. You say, yes, I'm more crazy than you think. You have already an impression that you remind you don't have a power to certify me what I am. I don't know myself, and you are telling me that you know me. Come on. Don't think that we are only happiness and wisdom. We are trying to explore deeper and deeper in order to understand this. So, study Eastern wisdom to study yourself. Studying Eastern wisdom to study yourself can bring a sense of connection to something larger than oneself. We get happy if I get something greater and larger and higher than my expectation. So it means I'm studying Eastern wisdom in the state of happiness. If I'm not, it will take years to get it. People say I'm following a path of spiritual awakening, that is why I'm serious. So you will never be able to find it. Because what you are searching is full of happiness. Happiness cannot meet sorrow. Happiness cannot meet your sadness. It can provide answers to existential questions when you are studying the Eastern wisdom. Wow, I am real self, all pervading, beyond the time, beyond the cycle of birth and the death. Let my mind be inspired. Then only we become a great seeker. Eastern wisdom has a profound wisdom about the nature of the reality, the self, and the supreme consciousness. And luckily, I follow the path. Let my mind be inspired. Think of this. Second step, what is the second step? Perform your duty. That is all about the karma yoga. Now you see the relationship with to the happiness and the wisdom when you are doing the karma yoga, fulfilling my duty. So I recognize here is my duty, let me fulfill my duty and enjoy fulfilling my duty with commitment. So it means, throughout the day we perform all the activities and I'm doing it. What I'm doing it? I'm doing it well because it's my duty, it's my responsibility. So when you are doing all your duties, you discover the selflessness. Can I use the word selfless service even doing your business? Yes. How it is possible? I'm doing my business for my profit, and my friend, desire is one thing and motivation behind the desire is second. So even when you are awakened, you still have a desire to eat the food? No, yes. What is the motivation behind? Your mind is now so pure, it reminds you eat to live or live to eat. Finished. motivation is changed. Eat just to survive, right motivation. Live, just live to eat all kinds of food everywhere. Just, I'm living only to eat, to get the short term pleasure. Repeat it again and again. Motivation. Desire is one, motivation is two. So one motivation goes to, do you remember? Shreyas. One motivation goes to Prayas. It means I have to maintain my awareness throughout the day, yes. Otherwise, when I do not live consciously from one action to the second action, I have an animal mind. Then impulsive mind is ready to react. That makes us a great seeker. Great seeker. So now you see that is where the selfless service. Now you're doing a business. No, I'm doing a selfless service. Motivation is changed. This business is giving the best to my country, to my employees. It is helping my employees to survive, helping me to survive. You expand. You do business with that motivation. So when you have that selfless service attitude, the third step comes worship. That is the worship. If you have a selfless attitude, it's a worship. I just want to, you already know Anne in Princeton, she's almost now 89. People tell you how much you charge for a session. So my mind, smiles internally, and then the person in front shows that I'm a great guy. I said $300 per session. Sometime I get it. It's okay. I cannot pay you. I said, then leave the session. I'm not interested. So it depends on their behavior and attitude. Why? Because I have to break somehow that level of ignorance, many layers of ego. Third principle is that when you have a selflessness, that pertains to the motivation. Desire is one. So you change your attitude. Sometimes you play with people, yes, because they are playing with you. So everything will be happen. I'll be in peace after attending your 10 sessions. I said, what the crazy question he's asking. I tell my mind. So then I have a bigger smile on. I said, if you follow 100% what I say, why 10 sessions? Only one session is enough. And now they are confused. They have no answer. Because their motivation is somewhere else. So if that inner motivation drops and dissolves, coming from the impulsive nature of the mind based on the past experiences, which I have not examined whether they are real or false, so I live with the impurities of the mind, and then question of selflessness does not arise. Oh yeah, I wanted to tell you the story of and yesterday I had a session with her. So at this age, to operate the computer, and to open the laptop. And sometime what happens, instead she should unmute the button, she mutes it, and then she gets little upset that now this is a problem, my computer is not functioning. But these are the small problems I used to resolve when I was there with her. But she has evolved very high. She's evolving, she's living in consistent peace and happiness and the joy in her life. And this is, she's living alone. That is another challenging point. But anyhow, so her friend, also more or less of the same age, her friend's son came from Maryland, almost 300 miles, to meet her mom. And he is a computer expert. So, and invited him to check her computer. And she said, everything is right, and I have guided you. You follow these steps. And during the conversation, you see what is selflessness, what is the motivation. That awakened, and I appreciated her. I said, that is what we need to purify the mind completely, once and forever. And she looked at me with amaze. I said, this is what you did. So she started talking about him. And during the conversation, she recognized that he gets the scholarship by which he pays the fees of the college, and the part of the money is used for dorm where he stays. But at the young age, young age always demands a lot of experiences. That is why majority of the people fall back into the drug. Oh, let me try. So, so he told that, at least, I have not eaten the food of my choice. Okay, Anne said, okay, and she went to the bedroom. She brought her $50. It is not required. She need not to pay. She said, my son, here is a $50. Today you eat the food of your choice. And thank God. It doesn't mean it not only for the money, knowledge, money, possessions, thought, idea, expression, life changes. I said, you did the best. That is being a spiritual person. So when you live into that state, your mind is so creative, innovative. It perceives with the clarity. Yesterday, this guy is 22-year-old, and he, after 6 months, I have to clean the solar panels. 22-year-old, slim, young, with a full of energy, and I felt that he is full of energy and young, and he likes his job, duty, likes his job. So he did it, and then I said, I must talk to him. I don't have enough, but let me talk to him. How are you, young guy? I believe you like the job. Yes, I like the job. How long you have been doing it? For the last 1 year. What is your planning? I will, after 1 year, I'll go to the school. I'm just saving the money because it gives me the money, because I have to pay in just 1 hour. I have to pay $120 because he has to climb on the roof and be very careful and then clean it. So I told him that you have chosen the right profession, and he was filled with more energy. I made him more committed to his profession so that he can find something new. So when our mind believes in its own experiences, it always it becomes selfish. Oh, you have done? Okay, thank you. Here is your money. Bye bye. So we have an American attic here. Oh, good, good. Thank you. Have a good day. But my motivation inside is not clear. Oh, let me stay. Oh, do you want water? No, no, no. I'm okay. Thank you very much for asking. And I could see his steps. He was walking with with more confidence and and energy. So we have covered three steps. The rest we will cover. Yeah, take one more, abundance. So once you have that, now you see the fourth step says you abandon, you drop the binding desire. Now you have a motivation of selflessness, unselfishness. So you always leave the binding desire and is not obsessed with, no, let me fix the computer, I'm always thinking about it. No, I trust you. Or it automatically happens. The fourth step naturally happens. So we need not to think. We have reached to that point of a seeker where we should understand this is going to happen. And the fifth step is dropping the accumulated sins, because I'm not guided and dictated by my passive impulsive desire. Don't have a lack of thinking in every situation. I'm thinking consciously. So definitely I'm avoiding all the sins. I'm avoiding or creating any unfavorable situations. Did I not tell you unfavorable situation is a sin? I have to follow these steps like this. And then what happens? Then you see every time you wake up in the morning, there is a cloud, it's a clouded sky, you don't see the sun. Oh, what's a bad morning? No, no, hold on, mind. Nothing is bad and good. You become aware of the defects in the world every moment. Or I would say you perceive the defects in your mind by which it perceives the outer world. What happens? The seventh step, you strengthen the desire for the self realization all the time. And now the eighth step is the time to leave your home. Leave your home of ignorance. Leave your home of ignorance and the impulsive desire. So we have to relate this happiness and wisdom with reference to these eight steps. That is why now you realize that why I started this topic. And that is all for today. We will meet again.
Thank you, Guruji. Namaste.
Namaste.